Hi guys, this is .NET GAN India YouTube channel. In previous video, we have learned that the set up a code first approach in .NET Core MVC application. So now I'm going to show you the CRUD operation. In this video, we will discuss the CRUD operation using entity framework in our .NET Core MVC application. We will going to use the same application which we have used in a previous video. So let's start. So let's start the implementation. So in today's video, I'm going to demonstrate the CRUD operation using entity framework in MVC application. And before I start the CRUD operation, I will do some useful changes regarding entity migration. So in previous video, we have seen that we did migration using command uh, in the PowerShell commands. So update database command to migrate the changes to database. But in real-time web application, we don't use that. We normally use automatic way. So the migration should be commit to the database using application itself. So we will do the changes first. We will do the that changes first, and then we'll move to the CRUD operation, which is the topic of this video. So for that, we just need to create one folder in your MVC application. Right click on project and click on add a new folder and create extensions folder. In that, you just need to add one class. You can name it like migration helper. This will be called from the startup. I will show you later on. So just add that class. Then we just need to add some extension method to migrate the database. So in that, first I need to make it static so that it can be called from the startup file. So I am just writing the method, extension method. It will return application builder class. Add reference to it. Application builder. Okay. Then give a name. In my case, migration database. Then use this keyword since this is a extension method. Application builder, create object. You have done it. So now using in using statement, we need to create a scope. Application dot sorry one minute, application dot application services dot gets create a scope. Scope method include that dependency injection, and in that we need to again using block where we will initialize the context of what we have added DB context in earlier video. That we will going to import. So we will get that service from dependency using dependency. So scope dot service provider dot get required service. Here you need to mention your DB context class. So in my case it is a sample DB context, I guess. Let's check. Yes, it's sample DB context. Just method, and then you just need to simple context dot database dot migrate. You just need to add one namespace entity framework core, and you are done. And then you just need to return application, the same object which we are using in extension. So your extension method is ready for automation of migration of your models to the DB. So we just need to call it from the startup class. So go to your MVC startup class and go to configure method, and here you just need to use that app dot migrate database which we have just created. You just need to migrate database. I think the spelling mistake is there. It's a migration database. So just add a namespace. Okay, so the thing is done. So we will test it. So how we will test it? That first I will check what is the database name we have earlier created. So it's example DB. So what we will do, we will remove that example DB from this DB. So I am just deleting this DB, and now we'll run the application. So till it's running the applications, you can share, subscribe my channel for the future useful videos on .NET technology. So it is application is running. Let's check that whether database created automatically or not. Refresh. Now expanding the database. It's still creating. So not created it. Yeah. Now we will refresh it again. Yes, you can see that example DB is created, and in that two tables has been created. So our automation of migration is done. So this way you can do the automation. So now we will move to the our main topic, which is CRUD operation. So for that we will add one project to your this solution. So because we need to make separation for the service, so we will add one service project. So first I will stop this and create a service project, add new project. So I will use class library, click on next. I will give the name business layer. You can give the name you want, business layer, and then click on next. I am using 3.1 because it is currently supported and I am using it for. Okay, it's already exist, so we'll change the name. This is layer. Business layer example. You can, I am giving example and clicking on next, and then select your target for framework, and then click on create. So I will do some separation in this project also. I am deleting this class. Now I will create two folders for better maintainability. Definition, one is definition and another is implementation. For these two folders is something, definition is something where we put all the interfaces, and implementation, we will implement those interfaces in this classes in this folder. So we will add one interface now. So I will give name employee service. I employee service. Just click on add, make it public so that it can be accessible from other projects. So after that I just need to see, since it's a CRUD operation, so we will define some method in advance so that we can implement all those method in the class where we will going to implement it. So first we need to have one list class where we will return employee model, which is we have already. Okay, so we also need to give add a project reference of model example so that all the models can be used in this project. So I am just added and added the reference. So get employees, I will give get employees name, employees. Next we need get specific employee. So in CRUD we also need a specific employee based on its id, based on id. So we will take parameter id, employee id. Okay, so next we required save employee. So cv, it will return boolean value, and I need employee model in it. Okay, so I will name it save employees, save employee. Now the next is update employee, same parameter required. Next is delete employee. In this I need employee id only, because I need to delete specific employee. Oh, sorry, delete employee, spelling mistake. Int I will use the same object employee id. So we did our definition in interface, so we will add its implementation class. Employee services service. So we'll make it public. Import the interface. So we'll just copy from here so that we can implement it. So we'll implement all the methods. So now first delete employees. We need to add one constructor so that we can import our db context object in it. So we'll add one constructor, public employee service, and in that we will include the uh, db context or context object, sample db, then just sample db dot is equal to sample db obj. So we will have we will have now sample db object. We will use it for delete operation, employees dot find, okay. And we will provide the employee id so that we can get that employee, where employee, then db sample db dot remove. So we will use remove object, so since we are deleting, and then we will provide this object, employee object, and finally we will call save changes. So this will this will remove the employee from the db. Next method is our get employee. So we will get all the employees or we will use return sample db dot employees dot to list. So we need to add system dot link queue namespace. So this is, method is completed. Again we need to create a we need to implement the get employees method. So for that, employees dot find employee id. So get employees ready, and next is save employees. For that we will start with the result object. So we will return this object using this method, and then we will add try catch block. Always it's best practice to use try catch, and implement logging here. So we will implement logging later on. So Now we will employees, we will save the employee record by using add method. This will create new employee record in the DB, sample DB, or save changes first. Your save employees, save employee implementation is done. Just update the result object, return it. So save employee is done. Now thing is update employee. You will use the same way. The only difference is that we will just use update method instead of add, and rest is the same. Rest will be same. For delete employees, we haven't implemented try catch, so we'll use it now. So it's done. So all the business service implementation is done. So now our next step is to initialize this implementation and this interface and this employee service class in startup using dependency injection. So what we will do is we will add one entry for dependency injection initialization. So services dot add transient. Here we just need to use that implementation, use that interface. So we'll just copy the interface name, and the second parameter would be that class name which we have used for implementation of that interface. Oh, need to add okay, so business layer is also not referenced in the MVC project, so we will add project reference and add the reference of business layer example to it, so that we can use the methods of all the business services in MVC project. So the services is created, it is registered in startups for dependency injection. So we just need to create controller now for adding the CRUD action. So we'll use MVC controller empty, click on add, give name employee controller, click on add button. Then we need to change this. By default, whenever we use this employee in our link, so first method would be hit uh, by application is index. So we will use this for the list of all employees, to display the list of all employees. So this action we will going to use. So for that, just uh, add the first we need to add the constructor first, so that we can import the import the business service implementation in it. So here we need to add public read only employee interface object we need to add here, and this object will be initialized from the dependency injection. So our object is ready, employee service object is ready. Now we will use this employee service object. We will create one object and use employee service object and use this method get employees, where all the employees will be imported, and pass it to the view, and we will create a view for this action. So right click on this view code block, click on add view, razor view we will going to use for this, and in this we will use same index CSHTML. You can also uh, give another means whatever name you want, and you can add that. Uh, I will show you how to add that multiple views in later on. Click on add button. So now it is added. So now we need to show the list of employees here. So for that we need to import our model, and in this model object we will import the IEnumerable employee object. So it will be the list of employees we will import in the model. So we will give heading to our page employees list, I can say here. Now next is we will use break, line break. Then next we will add one table in here, tr one row, and in that th, and we will add columns of this table, employee id, then employee id, and then employee name, then address. Okay, so that's it. Next we will use our model to loop the record and print the rows. So for that we will use another tr, then now for this tr would be a multiple of your model object, means whatever employee list you are getting in this model, we need to loop it for printing for each, and then we will use model object and copy this tr. Okay, and here we will use td, you need to just use @ to access the item of access the C# code. So here I can easily access the C# item object. So in that we have three. So first is ID, next one is item dot name, and another is item dot address. Control KD I will use to correct the design. So now our list view is ready. Now we will create action for adding the employee record. So I will again go to the employee controller and then we'll add the new action, save employee. Here we will this is a get HTTP get object, so we will decorate it with HTTP get. Here we just need to send a empty empty model. So we will send it new empty model and then create a new view. Right click on that view code block and then add a view and then give it appropriate name. So in my case I can say that save employee. View is created. Now I just need to add model. First I need to import the namespace which we are using, and then model object and the class name. So this is done. So since we are going to save the record, so we need to have a form in our object in a page. So for that I am going to use the HTML dot begin form method. In that we will going to use the HTML code. So first I will use the H1 to identify which kind of page is there. So we will give some heading, employee details, enter employee details. Okay, so now we'll use div. In that we will give label, we will use the model. This will bind the label of that model. If we are going to use a data annotation, then it will automatically uh, show the label whatever we have set in that data annotation attribute, name attribute. So we are not using data annotation right now, so we will just skip for it, skip for now, and now we will add a new div. Then import HTML text box for This will generate a text box for us, text box for method, and we will provide model so that it will automatically get bind name. So our first is done. Now another field we need to add is, so just copying the above, just changing the property name so that we can save our time. Address save, and now we required a submit button, so we will add submit button here. First we will use HR, and then sorry uh, div. Here we will add input type, submit, value is equal to submit. So our form is ready. Now we just need to create a post method for this, for saving the employee record. So we will go again into employee controller, and we just copy this get and make it post. Name will be same employee. It will just require input employee object, and we will provide this employee object to our employee service. So employee service, how we are going to save employee, so we will call the save employee method and provide employee object to it, and you are done. So we also need to read the uh, result, and based on this result we will redirect our user whether on same form or on a list view. If it's successful, then we will uh, redirect our user to list page. So we will do the code now. So for this, if result is true, then we will just return redirect to action. Redirect to action is something which we can use for redirect to any action of the same controller or another controller. You just need to specify where you need to redirect. So in our case it is the same controller, so I'll just give a index name. So this index method I will just copy and paste here. So if the save employees returns true, then it will redirect to list page, and if it does not return true, then we will send user to the same page with this employee object. Now this employee object, not a new employee. If I send as a new employee, then all the data entered by user will be vanished. So for to persist the data, we just need to provide the same employee object, which is sent by the user by clicking on save button, submit button. So this way the save employee method is completed. Now next is our update employee method. So for that we are using the same way, so we'll just add the same structure, just update the method name, action name. For get, we just need to get the employee, the update employee when required id. So now I just need to get the employee record of that particular employee id. So for that I just need to use the employee service method get employee. Get employees. Okay. Get employees. Actually, it become overload. So I just need to pass this ID so that it can get the employee, and I will send this model to view. Now I will create a view. Add view. Update employee. Now I will use the same code of save employees because the structure is same. I just need to modify set little data details to update. just just change the label name of our update employee input box, and in update employees post method I just need to call the update employee. Okay, so this is done. If the same logic is used, if the result is true, then it will redirect to our list page. Now we have a delete employee. So for delete employee, same way we will use the same logic. Here we just use the id and call the delete employee method of the service object. Yes, we also need to have employee object, since if anything went wrong, then we will return the same object. So delete employee is done. Now we will create a view for delete employee. We just need to display the record which will user going to delete, so that he can confirm whether he wants to delete or not. Change the delete button, and we will also use one method HTML dot action link. First method is the text back to employees, and another first parameter is to text what text to be displayed in action link, in the link, and where to redirect. So in my case it's index, so that if user clicks on this link, then it will redirect back to the list. Okay, so we'll use this action link in each view. So we'll use this. On submit button, it will automatically call the delete method, sorry, delete employee post method, and it will delete the employee and redirect to our list page if if everything is fine. So now our actions are ready. Everything is we have added view, we have added actions. Now we just need to uh, link to all these actions in a list page. So for that we just need to add one column for edit and another column for delete. Here HTML, same way action link, it will be text, this will be action name. So in our case it's a update employee, so we'll copy it from this update employee down. Now we just need to pass a parameter in a query string. In a action means in a link we will pass the ID of that employee. So for that we need to create a anonymous method item.id, and you are done. Same way for delete, I just need to update the action name and its text. Delete, we'll copy action from this delete employee. So we have added link, and also we need to add one more action link in the top of the form for adding for link for the add the employee report. So for that same way action link and just text to it, action is save employee. You are done. Now next is we just need to add the link of or new employee page in a layout page, so that you can easily navigate it to employee page. For that we just need to go to shared and click on share layout.chtml, and in this is the link, hyperlink. So I just need to change the controller name. So controller name in my case is employee, so we'll just copy it from here and just paste it, and you're done. So I think everything is done, so we can run this project. Build is successful. So let's check the page which we have added. So you can see that in homepage in employee link is showing. Just click on that employee link, and here you can see that employee list page is now showing. So there is no record, so it's a blank. So just click on add button. It will redirect to the add screen. Sample employee. I'm just adding one record for address Mumbai. Click on submit button. So now you can see that the employee record is added. So it looks little congested, so just change the we'll change the table property. Sales space padding is equal to 1, sales spacing is equal to and border 1. Just run it again. Click on employee. Now it looks good. So now we will edit this record. You can see that edit page is showing Mumbai. Now we'll change the address, change the name, and click on update. You can see the record is updated. We'll create another record. Sample report 2 421. Click on submit button. It taking little bit. Record is updated now. Now we will test the delete functionality. So for that we will just click on delete button, confirm the delete record, and click on delete button. Then you can see that the record is deleted from the list page. So this is how you can do a CRUD operation using entity framework in .NET Core MVC application. Thank you for watching my video. You can like, share, and subscribe my YouTube channel, and share with your friends who are looking for learning the .NET technologies. Thank you.